YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here, and I am here in a huge 2v2 that is probably one of the most incredible battles I've ever seen in Warhammer 2, and I hope you all are super excited about it. So this is going to be an alliance of the Greenskins and High Elves. Yes, an interesting alliance, and they're going to be taking on the Vampires and the Empire. Again, another very curious alliance. So it's going to be very, very dark on this side of the map. Very fitting for the Vampires, not so much for the Empire. But moving through this forest, we have an Empire army led by an Archlector, and he is supported by a couple of Knights of the Blazing Sun. There's also a flame, or a, what do you call it, a Bright Wizard with their army. There's a couple of Halberds, a couple of Great Swords, and yeah. Then there's some Royal Altdorf Griffites here in the back. Now, the Vampires have some Graveguards, some Sternsman Corpse Cart with Unholy Lodestone, some Skeleton Spears. They do have some Varix Reavers and Direwolves that are forward deployed. And for the leader in the army, we've actually got the Red Duke, and he's on his Zombie Dragon, and he's out here supporting a Terrorgeist. Interesting. And then Teclis leading the High Elves. There are quite a few Spearmen. There are some Lothern Seaguard back here in the back. There's a Sun Dragon roving about. And you can see here Teclis, and then the Greenskins are led by Grimgore Ironhide. They have some boys up front. There are some Savage Orc Biggins. And we also have a Crimson Killers surrounding Grimgore, an interesting unit to surround him. There's some White Lions here in the back too. Folks, this is going to be an amazing battle. This is going to be an absolutely amazing battle. Let's see how it plays out. So most of the infantry, if I'm going to call them the red team, the red team is the Empire and Vampires. Most of their infantry is moving up unseen through the woods. Watch this. A burning head here very early. So no good effect. Burning head comes very early and kind of a misfire. Yet over here, the Red Duke comes under some early fire with his Terrorgeist, because of the Greenskin Missile Cavalry, which can be very, very annoying. And out here on the far flank, the Boar Biggins and the Dragon. We've also got 3 Knight Gobbo Archers moving along the line, so there is a lot of maneuvering going on here. At this point, the Empire Infantry comes out of the woods, and you can see the High Elves begin to form a line, but they are out of position. This left flank does not have good support, and they are quickly being outflanked by the Knights and the Archlector, and then the Royal Altdorf Griffites not far behind. You can see that the High Elves forming up their coherent battle line here, hoping that this is where they will make their valiant stand and be able to hold out. And they typically can, because of martial prowess. Again, back in the background, a lot of skirmishing going on over here. Nothing too decisive, other than these Varix Reavers are thrown in a bit early. Here comes the Knights of the Blazing Sun. They are going for that Orc Shaman and working to get behind enemy lines. And here comes a second burning head. And this time it is not a misfire. It just absolutely perfectly destroys an entire High Elf Spear line there. At least 3 units utterly destroyed. Minimal friendly damage. And the Empire just comes cruising through the High Elf flank. And what was an amazing opening move by the Empire, and then the Archlector slamming into the enemy infantry back here with his cavalry and getting an engagement going, but also a lot of units around, so an early and somewhat dangerous engagement. So Warrior Priest, here's the Red Duke and his Terrorgeist, so you can see that the red team now pushing up quite confidently, and here comes Grimgore and his Killers. So they are going to get engaged, and they should do well here. The Wa is up. They've even got the Flaming Sword of Ruin from Teclis, and Teclis is going to try and answer with his own Flames of the Phoenix here, I think is what it's called. Could be wrong. I don't always remember the name of that. If I got it wrong, then let me know. But yeah, nice hit there. So the Empire suffering badly. The Red Duke plunges himself into combat against Teclis and finds himself in some extremely dangerous territory here, as Teclis manages to hold out despite having been hit by El Sif. The archers back here making the Red Duke even more dead than he already is, or undead, whatever you want to call it. So the infantry fight initially here, the Empire was extremely successful and then gets massively repulsed. And now the slower moving Vampire Count's infantry comes in, led in by some Graveguard, quite a few Graveguard. That's going to be a tough fight for Orc Boys, and the Sternsman will be as well. Look at this, just barely escaping with his unlife. The Red Duke trying to get out of combat here. He is in rough shape. A Warrior Priest is trapped in there, but drops a very nice bombardment. Very nice bombardment. There is an Orc Shaman roving about. You can see here the Red Duke just desperately trying to get back in the air. He's being pursued by Teclis. He is almost completely dead. Look at this beautiful foot of Gork here from the Greenskins, just stomping the Sternsman and a whole bunch of skeleton spears and creating somewhat of an opening. You can see that the Crimson Killers are going to town here. The Dragon trying to lend some support, but nothing too crazy. The Red Duke is just clinging onto his unlife here at 200 hit points. Really quite incredible that he's alive. Some amazing magic work so far from both sides of the battle. But that Burning Head, folks, that was a 200 kill Burning Head. This cavalry back here rocking it with the Archlector, and the Archlector is giving this some great synergy. They're getting huge protection and magic bonuses, all kinds of stuff. So the Archlector causing a lot of damage with this cavalry. We've got a corpse card coming in. That'll only support undead units, if I remember right. The Empire's troops have regrouped, and the Red Duke is kind of hanging back, using some Invocation to heck, and hoping to heal up. It's quite the fight going on back here. Now the Wa, remember the Wa is going to impact the Elf units as well. So map-wide Wa is indeed map-wide. The Orc Shaman is going to bite it. And some incredible work being done here by the Knights of the Blazing Sun, despite having rocked right into some savage Orc Biggins. The Crimson Killers, 100 kills, not stopping yet. They're heading over with Grimgor, looking to get a piece of this fight. Not an infantry unit that cavalry would want to get tangled up with over the long run. Teclis somehow staying alive, being very slippery like he needs to. Look at this back here. The Red Duke, in the pursuit of his life, already questionable as to how he made it out of there alive. The Terrorgeist manages to stop the Sun Dragon, but look at this, Greenskin Missile Cavalry nearby, and they are opening fire. Look at this, the Red Duke turning around, heading away from that Missile Cavalry, but what he can't see, at least, actually it is visible now. Look at that, the Sun Dragon pulling loose. Red Duke is, again, miraculously managing to survive, but now these Night Goblin Archers in a perfect position. Red Duke makes a quick juke. Didn't mean to rhyme that, but it did. The Terrorgeist putting up a heck of a fight against the Sun Dragon, but ultimately outclassed. You can see the Red Duke just jinking and juking for his unlife right now. Meanwhile, Grimgor and his infantry, the Crimson Killers, do get routed. 150 kills in. They could have done so much more, but they lost their leadership. The Lothern Sea Guard sitting back and firing away. Teclis manages to get caught up in a whole bunch of halberds somehow. And he is finally caught. His slippery, greased-up nature won't get him away from this. He is caught and could possibly be executed here. He is in bad shape. He's going down. Teclis is out. And it is a heck of a fight here, but it's not over yet. Look at all the skirmishers sitting back, Rusty Heirs, all these greenskin archers being pursued by a corpse cart. They have pretty much all day to keep themselves safe. Red Duke managing to have put together some of his health, but here landing perilously close to all these Lothern Sea Guard who haven't as yet picked him up as a target, but some of them start to. Meanwhile, this cavalry back here led by the Arch-Elector is just being gruesome. The Sun Dragon pulls up, and I thought that it was going to go for the Red Duke, but it stops to put down a breath attack. And Red Duke is back under 1,000 hit points, and he can only heal so much at this point. And he is being pursued by the Sun Dragon, who would normally not really be able to catch him great, but with the Wa, the Sun Dragon, yes, a Sun Dragon can apparently Wa. He's got extra charge speed, so the Red Duke in very dangerous territory right here. But Wa wears out. Red Duke ought to be roughly the same speed. You can see him gonna come out here. Just not able to put any distance between himself and the Sun Dragon, though. Let's just see what happens here. The Red Duke's going to turn around and use a Potion of Strength and gets an amazing hit on the Sun Dragon. He didn't die on the charge. The Sun Dragon just takes an absolute shellacking. but the goblin archers in the background, the Red Duke is crumbling with only 250 hit points. Surely he's dead at this point. And if he dies, I would think the vampires go with him. 98, crumbling, 87. Oh my goodness. Down to 87 hit points. He stopped crumbling. Holy crap, I have never seen anything so close for a Vampire Lord. The Bright Wizard is rerouted. He's crumbling again, down to 32. The crumbling stops again at 32 hit points with the Red Duke. Incredible. 32 hit points. The Red Duke is hanging on. Let's go see what's going on over here. I don't know. I mean, if one more bout of crumbling. No, there's an invocation. So the Red Duke is going to make a comeback. Holy cow, I've never seen such a close call by a Vampire Lord who was crumbling. Incredible save by the Vampire player. There are some Orc Biggins, and Grimgor is doing his best here. He has beasted up 135 kills, but now he's going to get attacked by the Archlector and his cavalry. Grimgor probably won't like that too much. Some of the cavalry left is the Altdorf Griffites, so you're going to see some terror come into play. Not on Grimgor, because he's immune to psychology, thank goodness for him. But yeah, these Scions of Mathland are gone. There is still Graveguard over here, including the Sternsman. But there are also lots of Lothern Seaguard around. And look at that, the Red Duke able to heal up back over 1,000 hit points in the background. Managed to survive that. The Goblin Archers doing some good work, folks. We've got a battle on our hands. We've got a battle on our hands. This is not over yet. Grimgor is one tough nut. And there are quite a few skirmishers left. Now they're backed up into the woods, which kind of sucks because the trees are going to block a lot of their arrows. It's not going to be the best place for them to hit from a distance. And this cavalry is going to come in here and instant terror on the Lothern Seaguard. They will not be able to survive that. The Archlector has just done a tremendous job supporting this herd of cavalry, or whatever you want to call this big horde of cavalry. Probably shouldn't call it a herd. It almost sounds like beastmen. Grimgor is going to fight it out, but again, here comes some extra, what is this, mangy marauders, it looks like, left over. He's taking on a lot of vampire infantry. Red Duke's going to throw a breath attack in here that'll probably do some collateral damage as well, but he is just looking to do as much damage. Grimgor is wawing out again. He's up to 160 kills, but I would imagine if the Red Duke swoops in that Grimgor's time is going to be quite limited. Coming in on that dragon, the Red Duke is going to deal some vicious damage and charge damage. And Grimgor is out. It is not looking great for the High Elves and the Greenskins. I say that, but look at all these archers, and the Red Duke is caught up pretty close to it. Oof. There's quite a few archers left and a Lothern Seaguard. If they kill the Red Duke, they... Oh man, the Red Duke is eating it. He's absolutely eating it. He is not going to survive this one, but he's trying to drop a unit of zombies. He gets a unit of zombies, and remember, they have fear, and the Red Duke drops. He sacrifices himself. The leadership of the Greenskins is going to be reeling because of the loss of Grimgor, and dropping the zombies in here does indeed cause some serious issues. One of the Greenskin archers, oh man, look at that. The work that was done there. And then the follow-up work here by what was left of the Empire Cavalry. The halberds getting in here, and what a cleanup by the red team here in a valiant defeat for the elves and the greenskins. Valiant indeed. This battle was absolutely spectacular. This was a fantastic back and forth, hard-hitting, great magic, fun units. I mean, this pretty much had it all. Let's go see who the players were and get some. Hey, and you guys always think the person who submits it wins. So take that. Veracity and Reptile King. What a replay. What a replay from those two. And then Pango and Ave Maria here. Just what a clutch victory. Check out some of the kills here. So for the Greenskins, Grimgor racking up 165. The Crimson Killers getting a decent number of kills. I don't know what they were against. It's hard to say whether it was worth it, but still an impressive number of kills just based on the number. We look at the High Elves here. The Pure Main Company racking up quite a few. Not a ton of kills on their other units, but definitely getting some work done, and Teclis luring in enemy lords and being able to cause a lot of damage with these archers as well. And let's check out the Empire. That that flaming head was one of the best I've ever seen. The timing, the infantry charge coming in, the flaming head, they're a little bit random, but it just lined up perfectly right down that Empire line, right down the High Elf line, destroyed all the spearmen, which would have otherwise taken a long time to defeat for the swordsmen, made a massive gaping hole. I mean, that whole flanking movement by the Empire was brilliant. The Knights of the Blazing Sun coming in with the Archlector, the Bright Wizard, just like confidently marching right through the spear line, but then pushed back and defeated by the combination of greenskins and the High Elves. But then came the vampires. Let's not forget Reptile King's awesome Foot of Gork there that stamped out a huge number of Sternsmen and other units. That was still a fantastic play there too. I loved that one. In the end, though, that Red Duke, can you guys believe that? Down to 32 hit points and stopped crumbling. I mean, that was the most clutch Red Duke play I've ever seen. 266 kills for the Duke. I don't know how he got all those kills. It's possible maybe it was like some breath attacks or something. I didn't catch every last bit of it. Maybe he got off another spell like a Wind of Death or something that I potentially missed. But unreal performance by the Red Duke. Probably one of the most amazing ones I've ever seen. I really like this army from the Empire too. That was an interesting army. A little bit of everything. And then a Bright Wizard, Archlector, Warrior Priest. Very interesting picks. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed this. This battle was fantastic. Thank you to all the players. I could not have enjoyed that more. And I hope you were in the same place. Give them a like. If you enjoyed this battle, go hit the like button. Let these guys know how much you appreciate it. That was fantastic. Thank you all. And if you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. I'll be back with more battles soon.